Hey, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. This is Play Junkie, and I know last time I told you it would be the last epic 6x6 video, but I guess here's what it really is. It was the last epic 6x6 video that was referring to the entire thing, or the final project, if you will. Uh, so I thought I would show you what it looks like, in simplicity, really. So if you've seen the first bunch of videos in the series, or whatever, then you might recognize this, you might not. I've taken off all of the accessories that it had, and I've pretty much stripped it down to the basic chassis. So I thought I would show you guys that. So, and this is not the original chassis. This is the improved chassis, which was easier to disassemble. So, it includes the new gearing system for the steering. It includes the third axle, all that good stuff. So yeah, let me give you guys review that. So when I show it to you, you'll notice something about it that's quite interesting, I think. Whew. Jeez. Alright, well, let's just say, first of all, we'll start with the front axle. Right here. All this junk in it. So that includes, of course, the steering stuff, the drive stuff, the motor there. Of course, you can see from the top as well. So, and here's the steering. So, if I turn it on, oh, right, well, I might as well show you this part of it too. Steering gears and all that good baloney, as well as the motor for the steering. One medium motor for steering, 2 XLs for drive. Alright, so turn it on, and you'll notice I'm just using a standard battery box back there. That's just for the purpose of showing you exactly how the thing works. I guess not exactly, but, just showing you generally how it works. So this is the half of the controller that controls the drive and the steering. The other half of the controller controlled the winch and accessory before I peeled it all away and started building another project. So, steering. Without all the weight of the body on there, you'll notice it can steer a lot more easily. It doesn't flex as much. So that's cool. That's good. You'll also notice it can turn more. I put a limiter on there because it would hit the body work, which, if you've seen the first video, the body work started, and the stopper for it generally started with the angled piece that would have been right about here. The angled piece is here, and of course on the other side. So they were quite close to the wheel, which meant I had to limit it quite a bit. Quite a bit. So, but now it can turn more than it could with the body on there, or with that body on there, at least. Let's see, how do I go about this? Ugh, that'll work, I guess. Still not really that far, but it does turn quite nicely in comparison to its size. It does have a reasonable amount of steering in there, and it's nice and well set. It's got a good set on the gears for the for having enough horsepower, to turn them. There's no differential, so it has to work against the friction that's on the tires, so they don't get to rotate in opposite directions like they would with a differential. Which, of course, obviously, I didn't use a differential because of the fact that it was a trial vehicle. It was made with all-wheel drive, triple axle drive, 6-wheel drive, whatever the frick you want to call it. Therefore, any differentials would cause a complete loss of traction. it would mean that if this were for any reason off the ground, like it lifted the chassis and there were a rock or something stuck here, and this were to lift up, this wheel would spin incredibly fast. And that one, I can't speak today, the one on the opposite side here, would stand still. But due to the fact that there is no differential, if the other doesn't turn, this one doesn't turn. Which means that if I'm giving power to it, they're both moving. Alright, so Unimog wheels and Unimog tires. The wheels are actually from an off-roader, but whatever. Unimog, whatever, off-roader, sure, call it whatever you want. Alright, moving along here. Oh yeah, rack and pinion steering. It has, let me show you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in there, 9 connectors. And of those 9 connectors, 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, wait a minute, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, move. 1, 2, 3, 4 are racks. Which means that, for the most part, it wouldn't bow like a crazy. But with a lot of weight on there, it did a lot more bowing. And of course, as it moves, the wheels begin to split. Just a bit like that. But that happened after the portals. Everything inside of here was incredibly robust, and it didn't do any bending. All the bending happened here at the axles. Right there. And I really can't show you why that is. But if I were to try, which I wouldn't, because I can't, then I would have to say that it's because of the fact that portals in LEGO, for the most part, are completely useless and incredibly weak when it comes to flex. Because of the fact that most commonly the portal connection that's used features an 8-tooth gear to a 24-tooth gear, which, let's be honest, is great, aside from one vital fact. The LEGO 8-tooth gear, right here, is known to have a 1-stud width. However, it is also known, I apologize for the lack of ability to focus with this camera. If it could focus, I would try to make it, but I can't, because it doesn't have an adjustable lens that I know of. Yeah, it does not. Anyway, the old one did, but this one doesn't. So yeah, anyway, the 8-tooth gear is known to be 1 stud wide, which isn't what it needs, because, as you know, LEGO pieces are made with a very slight indent of about 1 millimeter, and that means that when you place an 8-tooth gear inside of there, it falls into that little millimeter gap. And that means that when it's on here, for example, this portal axle, if I were to show you. Alright, let's see here. Alright, you know what? I'm going to get more light, actually. Of course. I forgot. This is a baloney. Freaking crazy remote deal. Let's see if it works. On. Oh, wrong light. How about that one? How about that one? This one? On. Oh, okay. Well, there was my problem. I turned the lamp off and the power was coming through to it, but it wasn't on, so that was useless. That was completely useless. Alright. And now then, moving along. My nose, man. Getting a cold here. Alright. let's see here. Dang, this is just getting annoying. You see, now I used to have a little LED light that I would keep around this area, but it would seem I've misplaced it, so I can't really use it, obviously. So the best I can do is this. Alright, so you'll notice in this portal axle here, this gear, this 8-tooth gear, meshing with this 24-tooth gear, is very, very slightly inwards. Now from there you probably can't tell, but the further I move it, the slightly more obvious it becomes that it's meshing off by about 1/10 of a millimeter, which doesn't seem like a lot until I put on the other end of the portal, which in my case is this thing. And it goes on like that. And so, you'll notice, you can see a tiny little amount of black to the left of it from this perspective. And that's a problem. And this is why, because that means this axle can be pushed a lot before it will actually mesh properly with this. So you can see if I want to cover up all the black and sink the 8-tooth gear's side into this piece, it's got to be really pushed, and that's a problem. So if I were to use a different gear ratio, then it would change things probably a little significantly. And I should have probably done that, and I believe maybe I will in the next video of the Epic 6x6 chassis. So I guess that's where this video ends, and the next one will begin. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and all that good stuff. So, thanks for watching again. Don't forget to check out the next Epic 6x6 video, and this is Blade Junkie. Sign off. Thanks. See ya.